Thank you for tuning in to today's collective reading. Begin with clearing with the kyanite and the selenite to elevate the energies and align them with the highest and greatest good. And may only messages of the highest and greatest good come through. Okay. So we have a reading for the masculine energy. They have a lot coming through for them from their higher self, as well as a desire to be understood more clearly, possibly by the cross watchers that are interested, the receptive energies that are interested in a deeper understanding of their masculines. So this is predominantly going to be for the masculine perspective, insight for the masculines into themselves, into the feminines. Let's just see what wants to come through for you guys. It was very, very clear. I was not necessarily sure, but then the Lover's card came through, and that was very clear, and it was in the upright. That was really all I was looking for was, do you want me to do this reading? And it was very, very clear. Okay. So, what do you want the masculines to know? The predominantly assertive energies in a connection, dynamic partnership to know. We're going to do with on the minds, but I'm feeling more like it's past. Just the past energy here that wants to be kind of highlighted. Okay, in the past we had the Four of Spheres in the inverted. Okay. Seems to be quite a bit of protective energy around this. Like there's money on the mind, there's abundance on the mind. It's not quite in the physical, and there is this one pentacle that they are holding on to like it is the only shield between them and something they don't want to experience. Miserliness and hoarding. Oof, yep. Definitely a clinging energy in the past. Clinging to what they did have, but they have money on that mind. Okay. So, I was going to go into memories. Memories, we have the giving, and not knowing if they would get back. Possibly not getting back. Because it's inverted. They're basically throwing pentacles up, and they're like, all right, I keep giving, divine. Are you going to send these back up to me? Because this is not how this is supposed to work. This is not how gravity is supposed to work. It's very, very clear that the masculines are like, right now. Oh boy. Okay, so I want to get those synchronicities for you here. Deception regarding skill and laziness. Ooh, yeah. So they were investing, and it was definitely a leap of faith because they didn't know if they'd be getting back. Okay. So this is kind of like that divine intervention, that their journey through that. Okay. So what's the present here? Where are they at right now? Okay, you want me to grab some deeper level stuff here for over here? We can do that. Okay, not that deck. Got it. All right. It's possible they're wanting to kind of highlight a bit more of like how much they had to learn how to be or work with the receptive sides in this to master or alchemize this phase. So in the past here with this inverted Four of Spheres, with synchronicities layered down, would you like to highlight? Ooh, Five of Swords. Okay, that one landed on my forearm. Okay, so they were alchemizing deceptive energies, thoughts, patterns, possibly even individuals that ended up having to be removed from their environment that they had to reject because it was causing so much confusion. It kept them in a state of fear of losing what they did have and fearing even feeling this overwhelming anxiety about lack. And bringing in that Nine of Wands, the loyalty to themselves, the defensiveness, the watchfulness of not letting energies like this back in, of discernment. Ooh. They're discerning of energies that want them to be in a inverted Four of Spheres. Because okay, so we have not being at play, not being able to manifest, not being able to do anything about this Ten of Wands, this future coming in, and them not being there. The Four of Spheres or Pentacles in another deck, it really talks to me a lot about, and they're bringing that to mind. It speaks a lot about how you see yourself when you retire, what you visualize, the protectiveness of your world in your later life. Are you going to have regrets? You know, like this is where they were. They felt very, at one point, incredibly trapped. But when it was highlighted to them how they had free will choices that allow these energies to manipulate them and keep them in a state of, and it could be like the inner critic even, like that's just energies, thoughts, emotions, feelings. They're all energies. It's not necessarily a person. However, there is definitely a person that was cut out of their environment that was very muchly driving a negative self-talk narrative. And they're guarded against that. But this not being able to create, do anything about missing out on their Four of Pentacles and the upright. Oh, this was where they were. This is how the divine helped them. That's okay. That's heavy. That's heavy energy. Okay, so well, I'll leave that there for now. Okay. Eight of Spheres inverted. So memories. Okay, do you want me to grab that? Can I manifest the Magician and the inverted? Is this gonna work? Is the universe gonna get back to me? Is this really gonna happen? Am I gonna... Oh, look at that. In the wheel, it did turn. Oh, it did. All right. Okay, so that's what you got? All right, cool. All right. Okay. Since that's their deck they're wanting me to use here. Okay. Now we can move into the present. All right. Ooh. In the present, we have the Two of Spheres. Ooh, and the inverted. Very yin-yang vibe. Kind of a state of conflict almost. Interference and stagnation. Ooh. You've had a lot of energies very interested in this not coming in. This is the present energy. All right, so we're gonna move into, okay. All right, we're gonna move into actions. Because remember, divine has a role in this. This is possibly something that's become stagnant as a result of interference. Which, I mean, yeah, that does not surprise me one bit. That imagery, oh boy. Well, okay, that was... Ooh, inverted fruit. Oh, that to me tells me they're freeing themselves. Or the divine is helping them free themselves. Victimhood and hopelessness. Freeing themselves from that. All right. That kind of hypnotized symbolism there. Freeing themselves from an illusion. Okay, so their current present state, we need to know here about this inverted Two of Pentacles or spheres. Okay. So, the emotions aren't rising. They've risen. They've risen. Whether that shadow work wanted to be done or not, the divine is like, here's how you feel. They can't turn their emotions off. Oh, wow. If they're used to, or if, you know, the masculine's tuning in, if you guys are used to being able to dampen the emotional intensity, you guys are probably, ooh. Oh, boy. Okay, so what do we have on that? Okay. Well, it's allowing you to move towards a happier life, a better option. You're alchemizing the past. That's what you're doing right now. You're burning it. You're alchemizing. You're changing the state of the emotions. By experiencing them, you are changing them, which is allowing them to be in a different form, so you can be free of that to move towards this bright new beginning, because that's the sun in the distance. Okay. Ooh. You feel really off balance during this experience, but it is your challenge. Can you be balanced? Can you be... Oh, well, that fell out. The answer is yes. Yes, you can. You can be balanced. The divine is supporting you. This is, you know, like an archangel. This is your guardian angel. Being balanced in the physical. You have the new beginning because you've done the shadow work. So, yes, your Page of Pentacles is upright. You are capable of making a balanced offer in the present. This is what's currently happening. Okay, so what are the actions here? A little more insight into these actions. These Eight of Swords over here. And inverted. Woo! Okay, that landed on the forearm. Okay, ooh. Tower in the inverted. Ooh. Oh, okay, and the Hierophant. So in this state of hypnotization or, you know, being bound, they have become aware of the changes that they want to make and how the divine is present within that. This is like hangman state energy to do this. Completion, to change, to turn that wheel. Their actions, they're in the hangman, the divine masculines tuning in, as well as the cross watchers, you're either guided to this or you're currently in the state of the hanged man, or you're coming out of it, because it started with the Tower, because this space, you're kind of putting yourself in a Five of Pentacles, which kind of makes sense with the stagnation. Okay, makes sense. That's why they're read together. You're learning the answers. You're seeing things. You're understanding things. You're working with divine, even though to your the energies that want to keep this from not being a thing, they observe you being something they don't need to worry about. They have no idea what they're dealing with. These are energies that think that there isn't a divine, that think that there isn't a God. These are energies that think they are the divine or they are God. And boy, are they getting a lesson in this, because divine even has love for them within the divine. This is highlighting for them exactly how off they are. And the hope is for the divine, in turning the wheel, is for what is going on here to inspire these energies around you that seek to keep you in this state. Because, like, you're a being of light. You're going to have feelings about these individuals around you. You're going to see the light in them. And because you see that, the divine sees that. Okay. So how you are freed from this will inspire proof. There is proof that they are not God, that they are not the divine. Well, then how do you not believe when it's so obvious in front of you that the divine exists, that God exists? The divine is wanting to call back the light within these people, back to the light, to strengthen that light. The divine wants to help them too through this experience. So, I mean, that can be very triggering to say, but the divine sees a far different picture than what we do. That's for sure. That it's very humbling when you are able to have such a personal relationship with the divine to realize something like that. And I think that that's some of what's going on here. Proof of this, the awareness of this connection within you. It's just, I don't know, words kind of fail me with it. Like, when you experience it, you know it. It's not a matter of faith, it's a matter of fact then. It's a truth. All right, so are we allowed to know anything about planned events? Which, by the way, the bottom of the deck, we have the star in the upright. So what are the planned events here? Like future planned events. Okay. Are we gonna get to know this? Oh, okay. All right. So we have the Page of Cups and the Page of Spheres. So this is going to be an offer of both finance and love. That's what's in the planned events. All right. Upright, that's divine's like, this is what's going to go down here. Okay. So what's the future goal? And, you know, guidance will be coming through for you guys through this from your higher selves, as well as synchronicities. This is really about you. This is, you know, this is about you guys here. So the inverted 10 of Wands, the burden of this, like, to be met there and know, is what I'm getting from that very strongly. Now I'm going to get you those synchronicities, starting with this this Page of Cups and Page of Spheres here. So for the Page of Cups in the upright, imagination and charisma. And for the Spheres or the Pentacles, it is apprenticeship and practice. So you're learning how to be charismatic and imaginative, and you're having space to practice in love and in abundance. You're going to get to, like, it. Planned event, you're going to get to enjoy experiencing, learning and practicing, playing really with love and abundance and imagination and just the charisma that's going to come in because you're so freaking happy. Yeah, I really needed to use that word. You're so freaking happy. I am stoked for you guys. That's awesome. Okay, all right, so the 10 of Wands inverted, exhaustion and oppression. Yes, this is going to be something that's not going to be a thing. Now I'm going to grab some synchronicities for you guys, some deeper layers, just because, you know, some individuals in the collective, you guys just may need that extra little synchronicity to know that this message is for you. That your spirit team is like, all right, we got to do this. Like, it's pretty much there, but let's go down a layer and throw the card. Got it. And it fell on the floor. So 5 of Swords inverted. All right, so you know the truth, and you know you've been supported in knowing this truth, integrating this. This is the free will card. You're choosing this. This is planned for you to be able to do that, to be supported enough to be willing to do so. Oh, that's interesting. They had me grab the assertive deck this time. Interesting. They had me switch on that. The 7 of Swords in the upright. Your abundance will come in, because like you look at the pentacle that he's wearing around his neck. That is, the abundance will come in when you take what no longer serves you out of the situation. Because he's leaving these two here. Like, maybe this is like right on his front door. Maybe he is the blacksmith. Maybe he's doing that. But these are to be sold, turned into a currency. But these are to be kept. And you have that image in the background there. Yeah, I think he's selling. You're using what you've learned from this experience to protect that you love, to allow it to provide a more stable foundation for that which you are seeking, that brings you happiness, which is ultimately what all human beings want, is to be loved. And to have the Ace of Cups come out in the upright. Yeah, this is definitely about love. Definitely about love. The awareness that when the love is there, and I've been saying this, which that just like jumped at me. If you're going to have a situation where you must have pentacles, you have to have pentacles. Like, if you don't have money, we can't do this. If you're not loaded, we can't do this. If you're not loaded, I can't love you. Like, if you have that kind of a upbringing around you, oh, I'm so sorry, because that's not love. Now, I'm not going to say that like money doesn't make life less stressful, thus less stress on the relationship. I'm not going to say that that's not true, because it is true. However, in this connection, there has been a learning that if there is love, the divine obviously will intervene. Where there is love like this, when there is love that is so supported, that you're here watching something like this, you know, like this matters to you. It really, really matters to you. And the divine hears you. So you have been given that ability to understand, to see, to know, whether in your life experience or in your spiritual journey, that wherever there is love, abundance will follow. You give to the love, the abundance will come. And it's beautiful that they're both out here. And then you have that Ace of Cups coming. Oh my goodness. Yeah. 8 of Swords. You are liberated. You know You know, you have so much awareness. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Oh, I got like this silly smile on my face right now, and if you could probably hear it in my voice. All right, so about this 10 of Wands. Okay, so you're defensive of this. You're protective of it. You're like, this burden is going to be lifted off of me, and I'm going to defend the fort because my reinforcements are coming. It's going to happen. Whoop. Oh boy. Okay, that totally landed upright on my hand. So, well, forearm. You guys should have been able to see that. The building of this, the realization, especially if you've been in a 10 of Wands for a while, it may take some time to really fully shake off every little bit of sense of being oppressed from you, to fully realize your freedom has been manifested, that you've done that. And I'm saying that because it's like, you get out of something bad and heavy and oppressive and you feel trapped and you're told like you're liberated or you're freed, or you've been like a prisoner of war or something, and like the day after you're home, it doesn't just snap back to everything's fine and I'm totally unaffected, and no. You have a period of time where you're like, oh yeah, I can do this, can I? Oh, it's safe for me to do that. And it's fine, and it's great, and I can enjoy myself, and this is, I really am free. Like that, that healing process is supported. You will realize how free you truly are, how powerful you truly are when you embrace, you know, the divine, when you embrace love, how much comes in, because you're not just getting, you know, the cup, you're not just getting the love, you're getting the abundance, you know the truth, and that is very fruitful. And your will, your power, like your relationship, your connection with all of yourself has been willed into being because you kept your light alive. And you've been very protective of that. Yeah. You've done your shadow work, and you are continuing to maintain that shadow work. You're connected with, this is telling me that this is why you've been able to hold the fort. Yeah, you've been defensive, but you've done the shadow work and you're connected to the elements. You have the keys. You have the keys. And Mother Nature does not see you as her enemy. Those wolves are not there to harm her. They are there to protect her. This is a receptive energy. This is a female on this card. Because your female, your feminine, your receptive side to this, whether they're you know, a man or a woman, is not really, you know, it doesn't really matter in this. This receptive side to the dynamic here, they got the keys and to the elements, and because they did that, because Gaia, Mother Nature, is there, and the divine is present within all of that, and Gaia has a soul. Like Gaia is a child of the divine too. Because of this, you've been able to hold that fort, because these forces, like the divine knows the divine, like Gaia knows that the divine loves Gaia because of this receptive energy. Working with Gaia, knowing, reassuring Gaia that she is heard, she is loved, she does matter. That's what's allowed you to endure to this point, to keep that fort defended. Oh, just very, very powerful. Okay. Now, the last two here. Okay. So, what is the most likely outcome? Ooh, no. First is what you don't see. Yeah. Events, unplanned events. What you don't see. Okay. What do we have for masculines tuning in for insight into what they don't see? What is unplanned? All right. The Ace of Spheres in the upright. Ooh, okay. And then, well, okay then. All right. Okay. Most likely outcome we have here is the Knight of Cups and Judgment. Okay. We're gonna read the unplanned first here. Because, I don't know. I still, I have a goofy smile on my face with this, so it's gotta be good. Okay. Investment and getting started is what you don't see coming. I'm thinking that an investment you make doesn't just prosper, it really strongly prospers. And in essence of it surprises you. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be like a gajillion dollars or anything like that, but it surprises you. So however that could possibly apply to you, it's going to be abundant in a way that makes your eyebrows raise. Like, wait, what? That is so cool. The Magician and the Upright, like they really wanted that card to come out. You've manifested this. Oh boy, okay. Yet again, the will of the year, you've manifested this new beginning. No question. You've manifested this. It is not something that you see coming. But you have been manifesting this. You've been longing for it, wanting it, desiring it, calling for it, being very creative in all possible ways that you could to express that this is what you wanted. Even if it was in the 5D, the spiritual, the inner workings of your subconscious self, you have been very, very muchly a busy person with this. And it's brought in this offer for you to have that year to heal, to grow, to enjoy, to realize. All right, so this placement's pretty heavy. Most likely outcome. Now, keep in mind in this placement, because you do have a lot of energies that are very interested in you not realizing this, there may be some protection over this placement. There may be. And that means the synchronicities, the messages in this placement, are going to be up to your own discernment, your own unique discernment as to what is truth and what is presented as falsehood but is actually truth, or what is presented as truth is actually deception. This is a test for your discernment. This placement is a test for your discernment. All right. Okay, let's see what we got in here. King of Cups. Okay. Selfishness and impatience. Ooh, okay, you know, I don't blame you for being impatient. I don't. Who would be excited about, like, getting here? Who wouldn't be, right? But it's also, it does not seem to have been the most comfortable experience to go through. However, it does definitely seem to be an experience that's worth it. So, Judgment. Judgment. It is the second to last card. The last card in the major arcana is the World. So you're getting pretty close to the end of this for a whole new cycle. Just about to get to be the Fool again. So I'm going to actually read this major arcana completely for you guys. Judgment represents significant and life-changing decisions as well as the judgments from the world around us. Judgment as an archetype is the 20th lesson for the Fool, teaching us to need to use all we have learned from others and the lessons we need to make the most important choices in life. The symbolism. A hand reaches up from the ground into another world, seeking to be welcomed. If the judgment is not in its favor, it will be destroyed. In the upright, the deciding for others, being judged, consequences, and closure. In the reverse, which is how this has landed, prejudice, prejudging, stereotyping. I almost said prejudices. Oh boy. Prejudging, stereotyping, lazy thinking, and abuse of power. Selfishness and impatience. You know, it sounds like you're just, the result is pretty much judgment is coming in for all the energies that want to selfishly keep you pinned apart, down, separate, unempowered, not realizing the truth of what you're here for, the life that you have always been not only meant for, but the divine made you for. The divine, you know, would like, if you don't believe you're worthy of it, the divine can't give it to you. If you're not willing to ask for it and then move into a state where you can receive it, the divine can't give you like your Christmas present. It's like if you want to have a bike for a child that's older than you, why would your parent give you the bike when you're too small or you're too young and it'll be a couple years before you're ready? Like, that's the kind of thing here. Like, you have done that work. You've invited the divine in. The divine has helped you. You're where you are needed to be to have that bike that you've wanted. You're of the right age and size now for that bike to fit you, for you to enjoy it. So the result is pretty much all these energies and aspects around you that have become obstacles, challenges. They're getting their karma. They're getting their karma, and they have abused their power, and they have been unjust, and the divine sees all of it through you. And with the prejudice, it's like you could feel very muchly discriminated against. You can be aware of the imbalance. I had the karma coming in. That's how it landed at the previous reading too. The karma inverted. There it meant the same thing and I'm getting it here. Like, especially with what we were talking about. Your karma is coming in and they are getting theirs. Oh boy, okay, that's a lot, but let's see what we got here. Okay, so we have 9 of Pentacles, upright, Hermit, and the Ace of Wands. Now, because they fell together, this is like one message here. Not only is your karma coming in and they're getting their karma, your karma is abundance with a spiritual wisdom and connection within yourself. Because we're speaking to the masculines here, like looking for insights into their situation and possibly into their females. Or the feminine. I keep saying they're females. It's like there's a fair amount of masculine energy here that is like, she's mine kind of a thing. Like that's my woman kind of a like. Okay. Now that can be something that can be a little much, but that doesn't mean that that feeling in and of itself isn't healthy. It's almost like a holy crap, that's my counterpart. like she's my counterpart. there's that kind of wonder there, and then there's this feeling, this instant instinct of, you know, she has it towards you too, by the way, the feminine side of the desire to protect, to defend. And not that you're not capable, and not that she's not capable, but it's, you have access to parts of each other, as it's come out in this reading earlier, that you don't share with just anybody. And you're protective of that part of them because it is like their innermost vulnerable aspect. You're protective of that knowledge of them and how things affect them. You're protective of them. And the feminine receptive energy, your feminine receptive energy, is very abundant. This doesn't mean that she's necessarily pregnant or will become pregnant, but that is a possibility. She's abundant enough to be able to carry a child. But it definitely means, pentacle-wise, she's abundant enough to give birth to a whole new beginning. That doesn't necessarily mean a baby. It can be a project. It can be a life. You can have children, and maybe she can give birth to this concept that, I don't know, maybe the kids didn't necessarily have a mom. Maybe they do have a mom. Maybe, like, I'm not really quite sure what the dynamic would be there with that, but she's going to have a very positive impact on the children. Like, she's able to bring in an abundance not only financially, but interwoven with love. Like, it's part of it. It's not separate. It's part of it. It's integral. And that wisdom from your higher self shows you the way to support, to provide. And that doesn't mean support like you got to pay for things. No, it's about allowing her, your receptive feminine energy, to know that she doesn't need to worry about you and her, that you got her back. It's not a question. You're there. You're going to give her your truth, and you're going to challenge her to be truthful with herself, but you're also her best friend. You're her safe place. You're her one, like, person she can kind of just be herself and take a breather and, like, maybe set down her burdens for, like, a moment, not necessarily dumping them on you, but emotionally giving herself that break that she can't let herself have with anybody else. And that could manifest in, maybe it's movie night, and she comes and she sits next to you, and then before you know it, she's fallen asleep on your shoulder, and you're just like, huh? Like, you may not realize how much little things like that have a huge impact on allowing the feminine receptive energy to feel like they can put back everything that they put down in a refreshed state because they know that they matter to you. That doesn't mean either that they're not going to clue you in on kind of what's going on. But I definitely wanted you guys to know that it doesn't, being there for her does not necessarily mean acting like her girlfriend, where she could just unload on you. It's those little things that, like the movie theater thing, that have a huge impact. Just being there. Just being you, being there. And this is that new beginning that you've manifested. And for whatever reason, those things, those examples that came through, there were definitely things that you were questioning, that you were uncertain about, that you were concerned about, you weren't sure about. Know that she's going to at times just really need to be heard by you, but that's only part of it. It's those little things where she doesn't unload on you and you're just, your consistent, calm, cool, collected self doing something you don't even realize for her that means everything to her. And these energies, nah, they don't even enter into this. This is your karma. This is your karma. Now, because this came out, I'm going to ask, does my masculine collective tuning in here, do they need to know? Do you want them to know anything about this judgment? Okay, now I'm going to split the deck. If the card is upright, the answer is yes. If it's inverted, the answer is no. Okay, the answer is no. And I do find that poignant, that it is the shadow side card inverted. And that's a major arcana in this particular deck. So they're being evicted. And the answer is no, you don't need to know. Other than they're not a thing anymore. If this is an image that represents your mind, they're not able to mess with it anymore. There may be some alchemizing that will still take place, like sweeping the floor after a project. But the project's done. It's not in their space anymore. You're just cleaning up. There may be a little bit of healing there, which is where this Wheel of the Year comes through. But they're not getting to do anything more. So the light has shown up. All right. That would be your reading. That would be your reading. Okay, yeah. Well, they want me to pull one more card for you guys, just in one oracle to kind of summarize, express something for you guys. So let's see what they want you guys to know. Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense. Like, it can't just be just that. Because, like, we just had that one come out earlier. That's crazy. In another reading before this. So that may be a synchronicity worthwhile checking out, watching. I believe it was probably the one just before this, but it could have been before that. Yeah. So we have Liberation 13-4 Foundational. Free yourself. By inviting the divine in, wisdom communication comes into you, into your awareness, into your being, and you can free yourself then. And 35, which breaks to an 8. So this is something that is of the infinity. It is part of a Two of Pentacles dynamic. Vertigo. Whatever you choose will be correct. So if part of what keeps you stuck, not moving, is because you're so scared that you're going to make the wrong decision and you're going to hurt her or yourself or that future, go back to this awareness that you are present with the divine, like that you are guided. Your light is your awareness of love, your light. It's not alone. It's being protected. So whatever path you do choose, it's your truth. Whatever feels right to you, it's your truth. So this concept of, well, if I say what I believe to be true or what feels right or X, Y, or Z is said, and I mean, I just really have strong feelings about that and I expressed that opinion, well, then that means I don't get what I want. No, that means you get exactly what you want. You get someone that you get to be honest with. That's exactly what you want. Because if you can't be honest, you can't be yourself. If you can't be yourself, you can't be loved for who you are. If you must be other than who you are, you're not being loved for you. Then how could it be what you want? You can't really expand within that. You can't own it as yours because they're loving someone that isn't real. They're loving the mask, the pretend, the defenses. They're not loving you. So whatever you decide to do is the right thing for you, and it is your truth. And to go with the flow is to allow for those synchronicities, those happenstances, those whoopsies to happen. And when those, well, that was really odd how that just happened to happen. What's the math applied to that? How, like, okay, divine, I get the message, you know, those kinds of things. Allow them to have meaning because they do. Allow yourself permission to just be yourself. So you observe a synchronicity. So you have a truth that they're not going to like. Oh, well, they're there to know you. If they really love you, if they truly love you, sure, they may have some opinions for it, but they're not going to go anywhere. They're still going to be there. Because if they are truly meant for you, which, I mean, it certainly seems like they are, then you're giving them a truth that can maybe trigger them, maybe the exact antidote they need to their own side of this. You and your inconvenient truths may be the exact thing that they need to heal. And that's not heal apart from you, it's heal closer to you, heal with you. So let that anxiety just kind of be, acknowledge it's there, and not let it control you. It doesn't dictate the direction you go, you do. It doesn't control you, you do. Wow, that was really a strong message for someone. Possibly a few someone's, but it's true. It is so true. All right, so that's the reading for you guys. I really do hope that this helped you guys. I really, really do. So much respect for the masculine sides of this, the divine masculine side, if that's what you identify with. The assertive aspects to this. I mean, so much respect for you guys. So, the divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.